everybody, thanks for stopping by the channel. This video is about adding a tailstock or a chuck to my tailstock on both my Monarch lathe and on my closing lathe. This is a 4-jaw chuck that recently purchased, and I thought it would be real handy to have a chuck for a situation like I'm showing right here. A large piece of pipe and being able to get it centered, and then on either unit, dependent upon the product, then I could actually put the steady rest on it and remove the 4-jaw chuck at the end, at the tailstock end. So this is a video about what I've done and about the build for the closing unit, which is a Morse Taper 3. This unit here is a Morse Taper 2. So I hope you enjoy the video, and we'll get started with it here shortly. So you've seen a couple of short videos, one with just turning the chuck by itself, and then the second one with this 4-inch aluminum pipe in here. And let me fire up the lathe, and I'm going to show you something. Center there. It's really getting pushed quite hard. Now it's a Morse Taper 2 on there, and it's quite a bit of strain against it. I think for using it sparingly, I think it would be good, but I think it would really wear the end of that. Let me come over here. So this is basically the same live center, but it's a Morse Taper 3. This is the 60-degree point out of the one that's in the lathe right now. And you can see it's got basically a thrust bearing and a regular bearing, the race down inside. And so I'm going to make a second one. So basically what I'm going to do is press the center out of those bearings, and then I made an adapter that basically is the same size as this shaft here to slide back in the bearings, and then threaded an adapter for the faceplate, or the chuck I should say, which is a 3/4 16, and then the chuck screws right onto it. When I purchased the chuck, I also picked up these two plates. I thought it was a good buy, 50 bucks for all three. This one, I'm going to make a register for the back and a spud, probably a 1-inch spud, and would be used for a faceplate on the lathe. And then the second one I may do the same thing, except this one with thread on. Just have a couple extra faceplates for small work. So let's go ahead and get this guy pressed out and get ready to make a second adapter. Okay, we're over here at the arbor press, and we'll press the center out of there. So you basically have the bearing, and then a spacer, and then the second bearing, held on there with grease. So the center I pressed out is basically the same center that was in the Morse Taper 2. This is a Morse Taper 3, so it's the same exact unit. I mic'd it. They're both the same. The only thing that changes is the tail shaft. So I already have my measurements over here on the diameter of the shaft that I need to cut, and the depth of my threading. And it doesn't look like that camera is focusing. So actually, the chart said to cut 081 on double depth, and you can see here I cut about 93 on the compound. That was the setting, but it's basically where I started touching off. That could be the difference. And we got some focus there. How about that? So here's the chuck off of the arbor. Show you the back of it. Some people mention it might be a wood chuck for a wood lathe. I really don't know. There's no markings on it. But my purpose of picking this when I found it there was the lightweight that it is for my use. I do have, and the fact that on the Monarch, I mean, it's a very short distance, so putting a chuck over there, you wouldn't be able to even put a piece of material in there. This MT3 is going to go on the closing, which has got a long bed. And here you can see the threaded arbor that I did, and that was a mistake trying to just I did a shallow screwdriver slot there, and I'm going to change how I'm going to do that. So let's get ahead and make the piece. Well, here I'm facing the end of the shaft to get a nice straight edge on it. I have to tell you that the tripod's in my way, so I'm fighting my way around the tripod on this. Once it's faced, then we'll go ahead and turn to size. The first pass will just be to get it concentric, with any high spots on it. Right there I just set the DRO to on the Z for the end, so that I know the end of the shaft goes. And I'm only taking like a 20,000th cut here. Once I get this cut finished, I'll go ahead and mic the shaft, and then that reading I'll go ahead and enter it into the DRO, and then all my subsequent cuts I know where I am in the sense of the shaft diameter. So here's the mic, and I'll go ahead and get a reading on it. I have to apologize for the background noise, but the motor generator on the Monarch is quite loud. So I've entered in the diameter of the shaft right now, and we'll make another pass to get it down to close to size, and then we'll check it again probably. the insert I'm using is a positive insert. I don't have I do have the number, but I didn't have it in hand here, so I'm talking about it to tell you what it is. But it is a nice insert. I should be actually feeding harder to break a chip, but again, the camera tripod's in my way. I didn't want to go ahead and shift everything around to get to the speed change, so I'm go ahead and let the stringy chip come my way. And I'm getting a phone call. This happens to be my wife. Today's Super Bowl Sunday, and they were asking me about what kind of pizza I wanted. We were going to order pizza rather than cooking. Salami and Italian sausage is my favorite. So we've got a little delay here as we're getting the pizza order in, and pretty close to getting to the diameter of the shaft. Double checking that I've cut it deep enough. And it's 1 inch, 200 thousandths. Here I am fighting the chip because of the tripod's in the way. I don't want to disturb hitting the tripod. And we'll get back to turning here. Okay, with that pass, we'll go ahead and mic the shaft again. Oh, I got the tripod.
Camera's on the way.
Not too hot. We'll just go ahead and mic it. Shooting for 590 thousandths. And 4/10. And I just looked at the DRO, and the DRO is reading within tenths right now of the diameter what it should be. So it's been true. So if I remember correctly here, I think I go ahead and dial in the final pass. And we make the pass, if it's the final pass, and then do a little facing on the way out, and then chamfer the very front of the part. shot of threading on the 10EE. Can do it one-handed. The carriage has a positive stop, so it returns back to the same place every time. The ELSR, you can shut it off. It automatically shuts off at the end of the cut. Back out, reverse. Keeps the half nut engaged the whole time. There's no sweat of trying to pull out at the right time. It really works sweet. Just taking 5/1000ths a pass here. No stress threading. Okay, enough of this. Well, success. Just finished cutting the thread. A little file on it, and it's nice and tight. So here's the stub. Off camera, I went ahead and put an Allen head in there to use as a driver to hold it. And off camera, I'm going to go ahead and press it back into the fixture, and then we'll see it on the lathe. Okay, got it all finished up. Got the MT3 Morse Taper 3, and got the chuck, tailstock chuck mounted here. So it'll be sitting here waiting to be put to use on something. Thanks for watching, guys.